Hey guys, welcome back to the Snap Ring Chronicles. Today we have a set of Craftsman ratchets for you. But before we start, as always, if you find these videos interesting or helpful, could you give me a like, a share, and a subscribe? I would appreciate it. Okay, today's set is what's commonly known as the Tri-Wing, the Craftsman Tri-Wing ratchet. It appeared, like, I would say, in the 80s, probably early 80s, as an alternative. These were made in Taiwan, by the way. They were made by, from what I heard, they were made by Stanley for Craftsman Sears in Taiwan. That's why they appear a lot similar to other Stanley ratchets from that period that were made in Taiwan. And I guess these were made as a less expensive alternative to USA Craftsman. I know that Sears, probably since maybe the 70s, had a line of low price ratchets that were not Craftsman. They were marketed under the Sears name. And those were made, I think those were made in Taiwan. Yeah, those were made in Taiwan also. But they didn't have the warranty, the Craftsman warranty, where if anything goes wrong, you can take them into Sears and they'll swap it out for a new one or whatever, or they'll repair it or whatever. Whatever the case might be, they'll make it good. But those other Sears branded ratchets, I'm not sure what type of warranty they had, but I think after maybe a short period, that if you would bring those back, you would be SOL, because they only the Craftsman line had lifetime warranties. Those other Sears brands didn't have the lifetime warranties on them. Okay, here we have the 1/2 inch and the 3/8 and the 1/4 inch ratchet. And the 1/2 inch is about almost 10 inches long. I would say like 9, to be exact, 9 and 15/16. And the 3/8 is about 7 3/4, and the 1/4 inch is about 5 3/4 inches. Okay, I took these apart already. I took the coil rings. They just have coil rings that keep them together here, and I took all the coil rings off so we can save some time and examine the mechanisms. And here's the 3/4, the 3/4, the 3/8, and the 1/4 inch. Okay, here's the head for the 1/2 inch. These seem pretty well cut. There's the teeth. The teeth seem pretty well formed. No complaints there. There's a small lip here, cut out on the underbelly on the anvil side, and I guess this side was just bored straight through and with a slight chamfer on the edge there. This is the switch side. Oh, and the 1/2 inch has 45 teeth. And the 3/4, I keep saying 3/4, the 3/8, pretty much the same. Not a bad job. There's the teeth. The teeth look pretty well formed. Same thing, slight chamfer on the switch side and a small cutout on the anvil side. Oh, by the way, this one, the 1/2 inch, the nomenclature is, there's a 9 with an underscore and 43797, and this one has a 9 with an underscore 43796, and this one has 41 teeth, by the way, and the 1/4 inch is underscore 43795. And here's the head for this one. Here are the teeth. Again, pretty well done head and teeth, and there's a small cutout on the anvil side again, and just the chamfer on the switch side. Oh, and did I mention this is 43 teeth? So they all kind of like have different teeth counts. This one's 45, the 3/8 is 41, and the 1/4 inch is 43. Okay, let's start with the mechanisms for the 1/4 inch. This is what the mechanism looks like, and this is how it switches. I don't know, the mechanisms look, I don't know, they look a little cheap, is the only way I can put it. They have like kind of a rough surface almost, and they put chrome on it, so it's got like that kind of cheapish look. And the pawl here has it's a small pawl, and it has 3 teeth per side on the pawl, but you see the 3 teeth there. But being 1/4 inch, I don't know, I wouldn't fault it too much for having a small paw like this. So it's like pretty much par for the course with a lot of 1/4 inches. And the mechanism is the swinging paw, like a la SK. And here's the mechanism for the 3/8. Same look, kind of cheapish looking, not so great. That kind of rough surface with the chrome on it, I don't know, doesn't look that great. This one is the 3/8, and my complaint with this one is that the pawl, I think this pawl is just too small. It's a 3-tooth pawl. 3 tooth per side on the pawl, and it just looks, I don't know, it looks kind of cheesy. It looks like those cheapy Taiwanese ratchets that you find on a lot of those cheapy, kind of inexpensive ratchet sets from like the 90s or 80s or 2000s. Doesn't inspire a lot of confidence, and this has the look of those. Just doesn't look too robust. And here's the 1/2 inch. The 1/2 inch, I think, is the best of the group. It has a pretty big pawl, has a pretty huge pawl there, and this pawl has 4 teeth per side. And hold on, let me see if I can find my my pointer. If you look in there, you see the plunger. The plunger is flat. It has a flat surface. On the other 2 mechanisms, the plungers were round. And I'm gonna take this one apart just so I can show you some stuff. What I do is I just press down on the side that's up. This one's a little tricky because when you press down on the side that's up, the switch wants to move. So I take a pretty heavy magnet and I keep the switch stable, and I press down and I try to see if it's gonna work. It worked before. Okay, there we go. So I needed a heavy magnet because I was having problems getting the switch out. So you take it out a little bit, just enough so you can get a nail underneath there, and then you pry it up. Be careful because the plunger is under tension and you don't want it to fly across the room. So I usually just take it out little by little, and I peek to see when the plunger is peeking out. I guess, I don't know if you can see it there, but you can see that the plunger is starting to come out there. And I just cover that spot so it won't shoot out. And here's your plunger. Like I said, it's flat on top, and we're gonna see why in a minute, why that is. And it's hollow, and it has the spring inside of it. Here's the switch. It has like this protrusion on top, and that's to keep the switch from going all the way to the side when it's switching, to keep the plunger from hitting the side of the housing. If you dealt with a lot of these Taiwanese ratchets, if they don't have this thing to keep them from going from side to side too much, you see that the plungers wind up all chewed up on the sides, and it creates problem with the switching. So I guess they realized that problem, and they put this little protrusion here, this little flat protrusion, to keep the switch from deforming the plungers. And here's the pin for the pawl. Seems decent. Here's the pawl. Like I said, there's 4 teeth on each side. And what's weird about this pawl is that pawls are usually rounded on the bottom, or they have a dimple. This one has like a triangular cutout there. You can see it there better. It doesn't have like that round dimple on the bottom, or protrusion. So this one switches. So the switch is kind of, when it switches, it holds like that. That's why this is flat, so it can hold like that. So I think that's a pretty good idea. I think that's a more positive switching, like that. That this is flat and this bottom edge is flat, like that. Okay, there's a little bit of chamfering on the holes, on the hole openings, to I guess to help get the pin in. And here is the mechanism housing, same as the other one, kind of cheapy looking. I don't know. This one looks, I think maybe looks a little bit better because it has these lines at least. It has these lines. It's not just a rough surface. And like I said before, it has that protrusion. The switch has, I can get this to focus, has that protrusion there, and it kind of keeps, it hits the sides there, it keeps the switch from twisting all the way to the side or going all the way over. Alright, to put this back together, you take your pawl, you drop it in, you take your pin, you drop that in, you take your switch, you put the spring and plunger in there, and you position it like that. Now you take a pick or something and press that plunger in and press it in, and make sure it switches, and then you just drop it in the mechanism with the switch on the Craftsman side, and make sure it ratchets, make sure it's switching, and there you go. Okay guys, that's my review and teardown of the Craftsman Tri-Wing suite. Alright, talk to you later. Bye.